The camera fades into the sound of light laughter echoing through a crowded company retreat. Employees are scattered across a wide, green field filled with games, food stalls, and cheerful chatter. In the middle of it all stands Jack Miller, a quiet, broad-shouldered single dad, dressed plainly in jeans and a faded t-shirt. He's holding a paper plate, standing near the edges where the crowd thins out. You wouldn't notice him unless you looked twice. But when you do, you'd see the calm strength in his eyes that have seen too much, eyes of a man who once wore the uniform of his country. Jack doesn't talk much about his past as a veteran. He prefers to stay in the background, especially around people who judge first and ask later. The retreat belonged to Aerotech Industries, a tech company where Jack worked as a maintenance supervisor. Most of the people there didn't know much about him, except that he was always polite, always working late, and always left early to pick up his daughter, Lily, from school. The event was meant to boost team spirit. The CEO himself, Mr. Richard Hale, had come down from the main office to join the fun. The employees adored him, young, charismatic, the kind of leader who smiled often but didn't really see the people beneath him. The laughter grew louder as a group gathered near the archery booth. They had set up a small range for fun, a few targets, a handful of wooden bows, and some arrows with bright red feathers. Most people were missing their shots miserably, laughing at themselves each time. Then someone from the crowd yelled, "Hey, let's get the maintenance guy to try. Come on, Jack, let's see what you got." The words carried a teasing tone, not cruel but mocking in a casual way, the kind that draws attention. Heads turned. Even Mr. Hale chuckled, motioning toward Jack. "Come on, Jack," he said in a friendly but condescending way, "show us your aim. I'll even bet lunch that you can't hit the target." A few others laughed. Jack smiled faintly, brushing it off. "Nah, it's okay. I'll pass." But then a voice cut through the noise, a softer, younger voice. "Come on, Dad, you can do it." It was Lily. She had been standing a few steps behind, holding a small cup of lemonade, her bright brown eyes full of trust. That look, the same one she had when she believed her dad could fix anything, made Jack pause. He couldn't disappoint her. He walked over slowly, the crowd parting as he approached. Mr. Hale grinned, handing him the bow. "Just aim for the middle, soldier." The word soldier hit harder than it was meant to. It wasn't an insult, but it carried a weight that only Jack could feel. He hadn't picked up a bow, or any weapon, since his last deployment overseas. He hadn't wanted to. But now, standing here, with his daughter watching and 100 eyes on him, something shifted. He took the bow, turning it in his hands. It felt strange, yet familiar. His fingers moved on instinct, checking the string, feeling the balance. The chatter faded. The world seemed to narrow. One man, one bow, one target. Jack drew the arrow back slowly, his arms steady, his breathing even. His eyes locked on the bullseye. For a brief second, everything else disappeared, the noise, the laughter, even the memories. Then, with a soft whoosh, the arrow flew. It sliced the air, straight and sure, and struck dead center. The crowd gasped. Someone clapped. Another let out a whistle. But before the sound could settle, Jack calmly reached for another arrow. Without a word, he notched it, aimed again, this time at a smaller target hanging off to the side, a soda can placed for fun. Another pull, another release, crack. The can split in half. The field went silent. Even Mr. Hale's smile faded, replaced by awe. Slowly, he lowered his sunglasses, watching this quiet man who had just turned a game into something else entirely. Jack lowered the bow, gave a modest nod, and turned to walk away. But Lily ran up to him, jumping into his arms. "Dad, that was amazing." Her laughter broke the silence, and soon applause followed. Real applause this time, not mocking, not forced. Mr. Hale stepped forward, clapping slowly. "That was incredible. Where'd you learn to shoot like that?" Jack hesitated, then said quietly, in a place where missing wasn't an option. The words hit deep. The CEO's face softened. He had heard about Jack's service before but never cared enough to ask. Suddenly, the man before him wasn't just the maintenance worker, he was someone who had carried the weight of protecting others, someone who had lived through moments none of them could imagine. "Jack," Mr. Hale said, his voice lower now, "thank you for your service, and for reminding us what focus and discipline really look like." Lily tugged at her dad's sleeve. "See, Dad, I told you you're the best." Jack smiled, patting her head. "You always believe in me, kiddo. That's all I need." The CEO looked at his team, eyes slightly misty. "You know," he said, "we spend so much time talking about leadership, teamwork, performance, but today, this man reminded me of something more important: humility and courage. We all owe people like him more than we realize." The crowd nodded, many looking down, humbled. "Mr. Hale turned back to Jack. "You ever thought about leading our staff training program? We could use someone like you to teach focus and discipline." Jack blinked in surprise. He hadn't expected that. I'd be honored." That day changed everything. Jack became not just the quiet man who fixed things, but the man who taught others how to stay calm under pressure, how to aim true, not just with a bow, but with purpose. His story spread through the company, then online, touching thousands who saw the video that someone had recorded of that arrow flying straight into the bullseye. It became a symbol, a single dad veteran showing that real strength isn't in power or position, but in quiet confidence, in resilience, in never forgetting who you are no matter where life puts you. As the video fades out, Jack's voice is heard softly over the music. "Sometimes life will hand you a bow and dare you to try. Don't be afraid to take the shot. You never know who's watching, or how many hearts you might touch."